God bless you. Prophet Elijah Bamidele Iluholo is my name. I just want to ask a question this morning. I've been on the prayer mountain. I just want to ask God, I just want to ask this question this morning. And this question I'm asking Nigerians, this question. Why is it that anytime there is a challenge, anytime there is an issue in Nigeria, that we, the Yorubas, we, the Hausas, the Northerners, we always look for a way to accuse the Igbo for being responsible for the challenge that is going on in the country? Why is it always like that? Nothing has happened in this country that has to do with challenge that the Igbo have not been accused for being responsible.
Hey, good morning. Woo-hoo. Yeah, or is it afternoon? I don't know. Hey, but I have some things hot to say, and I'm going to say them to you, and you can like it, you can subscribe, you can comment on it, and you definitely need to share it. And it's about division between me and you. I lost my ooh. Ooh, yeah. So hang on, let's talk about something. I just turned on a video, and I'm going to show you a little bit of it. I'm going to let you hear some of it. Now, this thing with Nigeria started out as if we're complaining about the economy. And I say we because I'm in it. I might not be living in Nigeria. I might not, but I'm in it because this has to do with black people. Because our success is going to depend on what they do in Nigeria. Nigeria is a pivot point, whether you like it or not. It's not Egypt. It's not Algeria. It's not Kenya. It's not Ethiopia. It's Nigeria. Nigeria is a power point of whether we can turn this around as a black people. And that includes you all that are in America and in the Americas. Let me explain something to you why I'm so excited and so upset. And I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you a common day example that all of you can understand. And I'm going to use family to give you the example. I'm going to use family to give you an example. You have 12 children in the family, a mother and a father. And they have a choice of whether they can build together or they can divide the house. 6 go with the mama and 6 go with the daddy. Or either they can join in together and forgive their differences and realize that the enemy is not in the house, the enemy is on the outside of the house. But the enemy has used somebody to bring that war and the difficulties they have with each other, to use them against each other. The enemy never uses things that make you happy. The enemy always brings up things that they know that you have a problem with. They know you have a problem with. For say example, the father says on his 6th that we're going to raise cows. And the mother says on her 6th that we're going to raise chickens. And the father doesn't like the fact the way chickens are around the house and the way they smell and they're eating all the time. He doesn't, and clucking and popping, he doesn't want to hear it. And the mother doesn't like it because the cows are around the house or out there in pasture and they take so much tending and you have to guard them and protect them from the wolves and the lions and the bears and whatever. And she said, that's a waste of time. We can make more money raising chickens than we can cows. So she got 6 of her children that agree with her. And the father said, no, we're not going to raise cows. We're going to raise cows. And they have somebody on the outside that hears about it. Because maybe one of the children talked about it. Or maybe the mom talked about it to somebody. Well, see, those enemies on the outside don't want you to accomplish anything. So what they do is they take those things that are causing problems in the home, and they use those things if they want to overtake that home, if they want to overtake that family. They will use those things that separate them to torment them. They'll find a way to instigate and cause a rival in that home to where the house actually does separate. The mama takes her 6 children that are following her, and the father takes the 6 children that are following him. Now they have a divided house. And the sisters and brothers that loved each other, now they don't like each other anymore. Because the father's making a lot of money on the chickens, on the cows, and the mama's not making much money on the chickens. And then they start talking about who's smarter than and who. And the next thing you know, the family that could have a relationship and really built something together, they found a way to separate each other based on somebody from the outside. But they don't even have a relationship anymore. Over cows and chickens. And then that other person that consumed them, that took over and controlled them. Because that family would have been very successful if they could have been together. If they could have been together, they could have built up a vast of wealth and opportunities for themselves. And then they would have had the admiration and love for each other that they need to build. They would be encouraging each other. And as they had children, those children would grow up to encourage and to work together. But no, based on this stupidity of the father and the stupidity of the mother, they continued on the argument about chickens and cows. That's the way we're doing. The outside knows, the outside world, if you know what I'm talking about, the outside world, the slavers, the colonizers, the outside world, the man, the purpose. You think that because I don't have chains on me, you don't see them? That they have given up and given us what we call freedom? If it is so, prove it to me. If you know it's so, prove it to me. This is one of the reasons why they were able to enslave us, because the very thing that's going on today. If you look through the history, you'll see it. You'll see it, the tribalism. Not tribes, we were kingdoms. One kingdom fighting the other kingdom. Over what? And we allowed this stranger to come in and instigate. And we made a decision that one was better than the other one. So one sold the other one off for slavery. Yes. We don't want to say it. We don't want to talk about it. We always talk about what the white man did in slavery. Yes, he took an advantage of our disadvantages and our disagreements. I almost guarantee you, I don't know for sure, and I'm not a prophet or a priestess or prophetess. But I almost guarantee you that the reason why we got in slavery and those people were able to do what they did is because we had this kind of discussion with each other way back then. The same one we're doing today with Igbo and Yoruba. And both of them are starving. Both of them. There are Igbos that are broke and poor. There are Yorubas that are broke and poor. There's Igbos that are successful, and there are Yorubas that are successful. They try to say who is better, whose land it is. First of all, before we go to decide whose land it is, let's get those people that don't belong in there out of there. That's our problem. While we're around Igbo and Yoruba, they're planning and plotting. And they're going to take advantage of our weakness and our stupidity. They're going to take advantage. They've tried several things. First of all, there was the flags that people are raising up, their blue, white, and red flags and saying that was Russia. Okay? That Russia thing didn't fly too good. So then they tried up the militarization. They want military rule. That didn't hit the fan so hot. But the hottest point is Igbo and Yoruba troubles. Now that's the one to dish up. If we really want to cause division in what these people are trying to do, give me back my stuff. I want my country. I want my power. I don't want to be dependent on Europe. I don't want to be dependent on the United States government. I don't want to be dependent on people that are trying to control me, people that has enslaved me, and this neo-colonization yoke. I want to throw it off. I'm tired of it. I'm fed up. Sick of it. Got people that are sick, don't have doctors, because my doctors are over in the United States healing people, other people. They're not Yoruba and they're not Igbo. The Yoruba and the Igbos are dying. Why? Because they can't live together. They can't plan together. They can't grow together. They can't succeed together. So their children are all on the other parts of the world, helping the other parts of the world that have colonized us and have enslaved us to prosper and grow. To prosper and grow. We got Igbos that don't want to be in Nigeria because of what's going on. We got Yorubas that don't want to be in Nigeria because of what's going on. What purpose is that going to serve? That all your professionals, your doctors and people, your financiers and people that have the intelligence to even for scientific things and studies and builders and everybody trying to find out how they can leave Nigeria and make it outside of Nigeria, outside of Africa, building black people. How many people you have running from Hungary or Ukraine or all that kind of stuff trying to get to Africa? Even when you get built up and good, they're not going to try to get there unless they're going to try to take advantage of you. So the real thing that's a problem is not actually Tinubu. He's a problem because he's a puppet. And they pull strings. And in fact, all of us are puppet, doggone it. They're pulling our strings, every one of us. Don't believe that you are, if you got black skin like I do, and you live in anywhere in this world, that you're not under their control. If you not tell me, you prove it to me. I want you to prove it to me. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care if you're a billionaire. 4 times over. Not because they got real controls, because they've controlled your mind and your heart and your eyesight, your sight. Until you take the blinders off of your eyes, until we take the blinders off of our eyes and make a change, we can forget it. And people just should lay in the street and starve to death and just stay there. Thousands of people dying won't mean nothing. Because what we have to live for if we don't make a change. We got people out here struggling to make things different, but we have one struggling and 100 pulling against that one. Tana, you think you somebody. We'll go over and help the colonizer. We'll build his business. In fact, we'll even talk that he does better than, I would trade with my own people, but, let's just face it. Yeah, let's face it. Instead of trying to make a change, I have to prove it to you. I've been in business, and I know how we have to prove that we are the best that they have to offer. And even when you prove it, we don't talk to each other. We go over there and bless that man or that woman or that business that enslaved us, that think nothing of us, don't want us, don't want to be bothered with us. And I'm not talking just to Nigeria. I'm not just talking to the Igbo. I'm not just talking to Europe, but I'm talking to you. We need to put down our differences and get it together. That's what they did in Europe. That's why they are able to use us to attack each other. I had a disease in my body called sarcoidosis. And sarcoidosis, the good cells are eaten up by bad cells. And the bad cells were about to really consume and overtake my body until I found out what the enemy really was. The food I was eating. I didn't need a doctor's shot. I didn't need any prednisone or a powerful anti-inflammatory. I needed to stop eating the things I was eating. I found out what the problem was, and I attacked it. And if I didn't attack that problem, I wouldn't be talking to you today. Or if I'd be talking to you, I'd be real sick, and I'm not. We have to find out what's wrong, and we have to come against and stand up for what's wrong. We have to leave that pride, that Igbo, Yoruba, and any kind of else pride alone. We have to leave it alone. We have some of the same things in the United States. So maybe on the different sides of the town, north and south, east and west. I come from the better side. I have this, that, all that kind of stuff. Black people, you black. You got the same chance as anybody else black does. You are black. And according to this world and the principles of this world and how it's been set up, and it's been set up because of our shortcomings. We were here first. When are you going to get that into your head? We don't have, the only excuse we have is stupidity, and being stupid and arrogant and selfish and self-righteous to a certain extent, and holding our differences against each other. We let somebody come in and they worm their way in, and we're going to be nice to them. And it's our leaders that have gotten us into this mess. And a long time ago, when we were under kingdoms, there was not a whole lot you could do to a king, but you could have. Because they had times, even in the Bible, where they rose up against the king. But we sold out each other. Those Europeans and those Arabs took advantage of us. That we allowed them to, and we're still allowing them to. They're so bold now, they come in and get our gold, walk out, we're starving, and they're taking our gold, and they're living high, and we're breaking our neck to get over there where they have our gold and they're doing something with it. And we want to be over there. Everything they got over there, I would say that over 80% or more of what America has built come from here. Either through the people, through the materials that came from here. There wasn't a lot of white people in America when we were taken over there. There wasn't a lot of Europeans, let me not say white, little Europeans in America when they took us over there. We built America. We built it. Africa belongs to us. Nigeria is a kingpin. It's Nigeria. And they know for a fact, If Nigeria turns around, they have no chance in hell to do anything to us as a people. I don't care if they got boats, planes, trains, ships. I don't care what they put out there in the ocean. It will make no difference. Do you understand me? They're dying from within. Their women's wombs are not producing. They're living a long time, but they're old and they don't have any children. And they're trying to reproduce now, but by some artificial means. We got a head start, and then we're going to try to turn their hand against these three young men over there, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. Instead of uniting to make sure that nothing happens to them, because their building will mean your building. You keep pouncing on stuff. I don't care if the Russians are there helping and the Chinese come in. None of them have the power that you have, that we have. The only power they have is what you've been giving them. You've been giving them all power, all power. But I'm going to tell you something. I wish some of you Christians and you Muslims get off your knees, because you're lying to me, you're lying to your children, and you're lying to yourself. If you're not willing, Yorubas, and you're not willing, Igbos, to get it together, the strongest forces there in Nigeria based on something. The other tribes are strong, but there's something about you too that make a difference. In fact, all tribalism, in fact, all kingdoms, you should make a change. Some of the most intelligent people on the planet, but yet seemingly some of the most stupid with decisions they've made because of their pride of who they are. I'm a Yoruba, I'm an Igbo. What does that mean if your children have no future? What does that mean if you're being fed with your own food by somebody else? They got the power. And they're feeding you your own food back, and you're paying for it. And looking up to them. Oh, yes, sir. You're so highlighted, so highly. Oh, wow. You're so heavenly and holy. You're so powerful, Bwana. Igbos and Yorubas. You gonna let them do this to you? Are you gonna let them use this to keep you enslaved? Are you gonna do that? A house divided gets destroyed. A house divided gets destroyed. All of you are praying and prophesying and doing whatever and going and getting all kinds of stuff and believing in deliverance and everything, and you can't do this one simple thing: get along with each other. You're so holy, you can't get along with each other. You're so righteous, you can't get along with each other. You tell me that you got the power of the Most High in you, preacher, teacher, prophet, and you not telling these people the truth? You're not letting them know that that they're being destroyed from within? You just tell them, pray about it. I don't know what you tell them. But there's something wrong with all the praying that we do as a people throughout Africa, that nothing is happening. In fact, we're worse off than we've ever been before today. And there's more people praying than ever. But who are they and what are they praying to and for? What are they believing? Ha. This is my land. No, it's your land. No, it's my land. No, it's your land. Our children and great-grandchildren. An Igbo can't tell any difference than from a Yoruba unless they open their mouth. There might be some slight difference some way or another, but basically you can't tell it. But I tell you got the same problem. Europe and the United States have enslaved you, have colonized you, have neo-colonized you, have mistreated you, have abused you, have used you, and you're scattering around there fighting with each other. And to top it off, the two major tribes. You know what? It's the same as a marriage. When two people are arguing and nobody wants to say, okay, if that's the way you want it, we'll do it. We'll just go along to get along. We'll get along, we'll manage with each other. When you don't do that, you end up in court as a husband and wife. And you don't do that as a nation, you're going to end up divided and you're going to end up being conquered, and you're conquered already. Let's get free. That's all I got to say. Let's get ourselves free. I'm pleading with you. Let us get ourselves free. You're making a decision for your children right now. You are making a decision. You need to decide. You need to decide. Are we still going to live in slavery? Are we still going to live under neo-colonialism? You got to decide. It's up to you, leaders. It's up to you, mom, dad. It's up to you, grandma, grandpa. It's up to you, young people. You forget that stuff. That Yoruba, Igbo, that junk did not help then, and any kind of separations we have for tribes and people. We need to unite. Religion is not going to, we can't do that. We have to agree that we just people, and we want to get together and we want to empower each other. You can pray like you pray, and I'll pray like I'll pray. You can be of the tribe you are. You practice your traditions and things. That doesn't bother me. But we're going to do this together. It might mean eating your pride to a certain extent, but that's only going to last for a little while. After the pain is over with, you won't remember the pain, because the glory that will come if we get it together. If we get it together, there's no nation in this world. Russia, United States, I don't care how big their bombs are. I don't care how many bullets they have. It makes no difference. But the rate we're going, they don't need a bomb. They don't need bullets. They don't need a bomb. They don't need bullets. We're destroying each other. They can just sit back and relax, fold their arms and say, hey, we'll find, when it's over with, we'll move in. Okay, that's all I got to say today. I love you. Hey, Blacks at Radio on Saturdays. Costa Rica time is 8 o'clock. Look for the webpage, blacksradio.com, and hey, check me out. Check out the station, because Blacks at Radio has been designed to help us get together. It's just one of the tools that is being used throughout our nations as people We try to communicate with each other so we can have understanding. So tune in to Black Set Radio. It's a 24-hour station. They have a lot of good things on Black Set Radio. Hey, check me out there. Woo-hoo. Talk to you later. Hey, this is Jamila, and you're watching Africa Speak.